Hello, Libra. How are you? I feel like just a little too close to you. There we go. Is that better? Yeah, that's a little bit better. What's going on? It's Monday. Catfish back a little bit. Hope you're having a good Monday. Like, who has good Mondays? I mean, Monday just is the shit day of the week. So sit back, relax. Have a latte. I make these homemade. Oh, they're so good. Okay. Let's see. You obviously clicked on this reading because something brought you to it. And let's see what that reasoning is. Okay. This is weird. Okay. Then those three. Okay, so okay. So that's past, present, maybe future. No. Wow. Lots going on, Libra. We got the peace pipe in reverse, with mimosa juice in reverse, with the Ace of Cups in reverse. I was like, how many cups are taken on you? That's no weed, no cheers, and no love. Right? Like, what? And then we got Hearth and Home, Monster in reverse, and work. So I think somebody has been working to get rid of this monster that's in their house. So it's like, it's you know who the monster is because it's in reverse, and monster upright would be somebody wearing a mask, somebody hiding, right? But that still scaring the shit out of you, destroying your life, claiming to be something that they're not. So I think someone's working on something to reveal this presence that they've known that has hurt them in some way, right? So they've taken a lot of work to uncover who this monster is. So now we've got panic, witness, and magic. So I feel like somebody lied about being a witness to something. It's almost like they didn't step up, they didn't say anything, and now they're worried because they should have said something and they didn't. And now it's almost like magic is like things are working against them now. And they know it because when in life, I mean, we're given witnesses for a reason, right? It's to help us. It's so then, we kind of design that on our path so then we can defend ourselves almost. So then we're not that almost that lost human that can't get out of jail because nobody has an alibi for them. Nobody saw them, right? So it's like this person was hoping that they didn't be seen. Somebody was hoping. I was hoping. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Amanda Morissette's songs. Or Alanis Morissette. Amanda Morissette. I was going to say Amanda Marshall. Alanis Morissette songs. Like somebody was really hoping that they were going to just go unnoticed. And I've been watching a lot of British TV, and they have CCTV on everything. Like they have had CCTV now for like 20 years, recording those streets, right? Making sure that criminals and people were caught in their tracks, because the police can only do so much, right? So these CCTV workers, you know, they have to sit there and watch these cameras. Actually, I watched a documentary on it being kind of like one of the hardest jobs, because they just have to sit there and stare, like, and then if they miss something, and anyways, right? So I feel like this witness was recorded. And it's like they didn't know that the CCTV cameras were watching them, right? Technically. Maybe this is. Like maybe you're in the United Nations. Like United Kingdom watches this channel, obviously. Right? That's why I love YouTube so much. I love the world, because we're able to connect on such a different level. Like it's almost like we're using our telepathy and our connection now in a totally different way. Where we used to use our telepathy and our connection with our family, right? With our tribe. Especially before language was around, right? You needed that type of communication. You needed telepathy. You needed to be able to communicate with one another when there was a threat, and when something was incoming, and when somebody was sick, right? And now we're using our telepathy to interact with people, and to meet with people, and to meet people all over the world. And, you know, like I was watching this documentary about an island. I knew the name before. Anyways, the Faroe Islands, I believe they're called. And there's no women. So these poor fishermen who can't find a spouse for the life of them. Like so many want to start families, and so many, they just want somebody at home when they come home, and somebody to love. And they're just these very gentle men, but very weathered, very gentle, very weathered men, and they, wouldn't find wives if it wasn't for Facebook. It's like a known fact. Like they use Facebook as a dating mechanism to meet people, and then they have people flying around the world to see them. And one lady was like, I was really happy that his picture looked exactly like him. And I'm like, no doubt, like that'd be so scary, going to meet somebody and only seeing their picture. Like that's so 90s, right? That's so like chat room style, where you meet somebody in chat room and then you go meet up with them, and it's like, it's so scary, but it's not. I feel like that's like kind of, I don't know why I just got way off the topic, but not really, because it's all about connection. It's all about meet and connecting with people, and like this, like I said, this could be taking form in the United Kingdom, right? It's like there's a monster under somebody's roof, and it's almost like maybe it's generational. Like maybe there's a house with like grandparents, parents, kids, and stepkids, or not stepkids, but grandchildren, right? Maybe there's like 4 generations in a house, or 3 generations in a house, and there's a monster under somebody's roof. And this monster is taking everything. It's taking the moments that they have with people, right? The tribe moments, the story time, right? The connection. It's taking the connection. It's taken the good times, right? All about good times. It's taken the cheers. It's taken the moments of cheers away when you're with people, and you just have mad respect for everybody, and you just do a nice cheers to be like, damn, this is, break the ice. And then it's the Ace of Cups in reverse. So it's like, then not only are you not allowed to have the cheers, but you're not allowed to have your social hour. Now you're not allowed to have your love. Now you're not allowed to have your emotions. Now you just get to be cupless. Like, what kind of monster does that? Like, that's monster manipulation above and beyond. It'd be one thing to have a problem with somebody and, want to take a friend or two away from them, back in the day. Like, this is like grade school kind of shit. You want to take somebody's friend away from them and become best friends with them, right? That vindictiveness, that get in the middle of somebody's life and take something away from them, even though you don't really want it, you don't really want to hang out with this person, but you know that you don't want them hanging out with that other person. And it's just like, it's like somebody's got anxiety about it, because if they're not around this person enough, right? Like if somebody noticed something and they think that they're just going to go forgotten, right? This is almost like kind of like one of the things I just watched. Yeah, it seems like so many things I'm watching right now, there's witnesses. There's always witnesses. And it's like it's somebody's worrying because they're not connected to somebody now. So they don't know what they remember. So it's almost kind of like, that family member that keeps you close, because they have to keep you close because they have to know if physically you're remembering something. Right? And that would be a monster. That would be somebody who, I mean, we don't even have to go down the road of molestation right now with a monster. We could be talking about somebody who hurt somebody and somebody noticed. So, like, I mean, this could be murder. This could be something, somebody watched somebody hurt somebody and kind of cover up the evidence. And they were always hoping that this person never saw anything. But deep inside, this witness has always been worried about this. Right, and panicking about this because it's I don't think enough time has gone by, and even no matter how much time has gone by, I mean, cold case files are opened up all the time, right? There's new detectives that come on cases that are 20, 30 years old. People get found out, right, and they get what is coming to them. And I was watching this one documentary about a detective talking about how she really hopes that in 20 years people aren't talking about how fucked up the system already is, right? Because when you think about it, 20 years ago, they were talking about how rock stars used to sleep with underage girls all the time. And it was such a faux pas, but nobody talked about it. It was just like, it was the cool thing to do, like to be Tommy Lee and banging some 17-year-old on his tour bus, right? Where it's like, now that can't happen, and it shouldn't have happened then. So why did it get let go for so long? Well, it's because we didn't see age as a limit almost. We didn't see age as, like somebody taking advantage of somebody. It just wasn't talked about. It wasn't spoken about. Like people, families used to have their family, their relatives kidnapped and taken to church camps to be reorientated if they had gay tendencies or lesbian tendencies, right? It's like homophobic tendencies. It's all about parents covering up things. And because their parents covered up something that happened to them, and their parents covered up something that happened to them, it's like somebody has to break the cycle. Somebody has to be that generational stop that says, we can't do this anymore. Like, you dusted under the rug, and then great grandpa dusted under the rug, and then grandma dusted under the rug, then my mom dusted under the rug. Now I can't dust under the rug. Like, everyone's just shoving it away, but you realize that they look like they're okay, but they're not. Right? Like shoving everything down is not the way to go, because then most times you just end up on pills, right? You end up taking these drugs to make yourself feel better because somebody told you to swallow something that it wasn't a pill that you were supposed to. It was a pill that you were supposed to throw up. It was never supposed to go down. It was supposed to go down somebody else's throat, right? And so it's like something has to change. And when we get into energy that has to change, it's basically somebody who's doing their work. Right? That's the only way things can change, is that if nobody stops and the progression keeps going. Because as long as you keep moving, then you'll keep kind of evolving, right? You'll keep your, as long as you keep the water moving through your gills, you won't die. Right? So it's like someone's life mission to stop this person, because if they're stopping one person, it's not just one person. And that's what my sister and I talked about, where we feel like there's this like stop somewhere in our lives, and I'm going like, okay, if somebody wants to stop me on my path, and they don't understand that once my path gets stopped, now the people following my path can't go anywhere. So it's not just it's people don't realize the effect that they do, that how much one thing can affect. That you think you're going to hurt one person, but that one person is connected to 10, 20 people. And even if they infect one person with whatever's going on, that next person will infect the next person, right? It's like people don't realize what their acidity can do to other people, what their acid, what their hate, what their vengeance, what their monster, what their mask can do, right? And this one lady said in this show, This guy goes, it was 20 years ago. He's talking about child abuse and knowing this pedophile. And he goes, it was 20 years ago. You can get over it now. And this lady looks at him and goes, that 1 second just costed that child their entire lives. Don't say, because it's been 20 years, it's done. Because it's not done to that victim. It's never going to be done to that victim, right? We live with that shit every single fucking day. It kicks us somehow in the face. And having some mockery bitch or asshole stand in front of your face and go, it's been 20 years, get over it already. All right, so get into the driveway. I'm going to run you over going 100 kilometers an hour, and then I'm going to get you to go up, and in a week, I'm going to hit you again and go, get over it, it's been a week, right? Like, no, like the ignorance that comes from people that will never know what living with trauma does, right? And then there's the fakes, the ones that make it seem like they've been through trauma, and then they act, all the actors, right? They want to take pills, they want to be at home, they want to be the victims. And it just makes me sick because it's monsters like that transform people, right? And a lot of documentaries, it was like children changed usually children change the second it happens to them, right? And they never go back. And the parent will always say something along the lines of, well, I thought they were going to grow out of it, and children change, and maybe they were just going to be sad for the rest of their lives. Like, no, a child they don't just change all of a sudden and they're sad. Something happened to them. And if they're not talking about it, then it's even worse. Especially if they've gone quiet and the day before they were happy, right? I don't care whose uncle they were with or who you think you can trust. I wouldn't trust anybody, let alone my own fucking brother half the time. Like, why trust somebody? Why? Because somebody told you to trust somebody, or you think because you know somebody? People who have known people for fucking 20, 30 years don't even fucking know who the hell that person is beside them, right? People can change. Right? And they can hide and stay dormant, and their little demons can hide and stay dormant for years and you'll never see it. Right? It's like people, they know, they're not stupid. And I think that's what it is that people play dumb, and then if something doesn't happen right in front of their face, they'll go, ha, see, I told you it didn't happen. Well, yeah, because you're looking right now, it didn't happen. But for 30 years when you didn't watch, it happened every day. Right? Fucking assholes. All to come, all just for a feeling, for an orgasm. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. What people put other people through for a fucking 3 second snap off. Like, really? Go and do it yourself. Like, it's so disgusting what abuse does to people. And then having it under your fucking roof is even worse, because then it's like, if you go to tell somebody and they don't believe you, then what happens? You just get called a liar for the rest of your life, right? This person just gets to suck off you because they know that they're the one monster that can hide right in front of you and nobody sees them. Fucking jerk off right in their face. Oh, it pisses me off, man. And it's awesome because I watched Joe Rogan talk about his daughter and if things happen to his daughter and he just goes to this dark place, and I'm like, you have no idea. If I even saw it, it wouldn't even have to be my daughter. It wouldn't even have to be my kid. If I watched this one fucking dude throw his kid into a car, and I almost lost my shit. My sister had to pull me back because I was like, don't you dare fucking put your hand on your kid like that. Are you serious? In front of a crowd, and nobody says anything. Like half the time if you walk by people and they're slamming their kid in a car or fucking yelling at their kid, nobody ever says anything. One guy yelled at his daughter right in front of me, and I turned around and I went, hey, why don't you say something like that to me? And he just put his head down. Well, they're my daughters. Yeah, no, but, come on, why don't you fight somebody your own age? Why don't you fight somebody your own sex? Like, yeah, fight the vulnerable. Fight the ones who can't fight back. You fucking losers. Anyways, like, I get revved when I talk about these kind of monsters that just hiding. They're just hiding. Like you don't think anybody's going to know what you did? Really? You think you're that slick? You think you can just fuck up some kid, no one's going to find out, and you're the fucking man? Ooh, like, fucking losers. Anyways, especially female pedophiles, they piss me off the worst because they're the ones that always claim victim, mommy syndrome. I didn't do it. I didn't know anything was wrong. I didn't know what he was doing. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You knew what your husband was doing. Don't tell me. A wife always knows. To pull that shit, to be a coward. Okay, my stepdad used to take off. He still takes off for hours at a time. He's been doing it since the day he came into my life. He takes off. My mom doesn't know where he goes. He leaves for hours at a time. He says he's going to get the paper. He'll come back drunk. He'll come back with no newspaper. Like, what is he doing? What is he doing? Like, play dumb some more. Like, women who act dumb, oh, I hate them, because it makes it seem like every woman's done. No woman is done. No woman was dumb in the 20s when she saw it, let alone in the 40s when she saw it, 50s when she saw it. Every woman playing dumb, I swear to God, those women that play dumb, that watch it, that know what's going on, they deserve to suffer the worst. They almost deserve to suffer more than the person who actually did it. To just sit there and be some fucking witness, but not be a witness, to know that something happened but never say anything. Really? That much of a coward? Wow. When this person's sucking the living fucking life out of his victim, you won't say anything? Wow. Yeah, no wonder this is the last reading of the day, because I'm getting like fucking, just want to kill all pedophiles. Oh. Then I watched this interview with this guy who went and stalked pedophiles and killed them. Got 25 years to life. He apologized for it afterwards and said that somebody taking the law into their own hands is almost just as bad as the perpetrators themselves. And I'm thinking like, man, he just kicked the shit out of pedophiles with a baseball bat. Like, I mean, you have no idea when I think about my stepfather, what I would do to him. Like, even to this day, what I would do to him is like, I mean, I just hope one day I get to. You know, I was watching Sons of Anarchy, and one of their guys gets kidnapped, Bobby, and then he gets killed, and then the guy who did it to him, who tortured him, the president does it back to him. Right? Cuts his fingers off and takes his eye out, fucking breaks his jaw. Like, you think you're going to get away with things that you do because of power, money, position. But that's all it is. It's a moment in time where you get away with something. Like that's it. That's your one moment. You know, like, always think about that with your perp. Like, that's their one moment. This is it. That's all they get, is this little ounce of time of freedom before they have to pay for everything that they did. Anyways, this is like a long reading, yeah. Wow. Libra, this is justice. I always say you don't have to go by the sign because it's the energy, and this is justice being served. So, I hope it makes sense. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for listening to my rant to the end of the reading.